Welcome, nerds, to the gaming and tech news for the week. This is a clip that has been taken out of the main show, The Week in Nerddom, which goes up on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. In gaming and tech, we like to talk about, well, you know, gaming and tech, trailers, announcements for new tech and games and consoles and everything in between that is gaming and or tech related. So this week in gaming and tech, all of this stuff happened. Let's talk gaming and tech, shall we, nerds? So in gaming and tech, we have Microsoft, we have Twitter, we have Microsoft versus Twitter, and we've got a couple other things. Let's do the gaming and tech news. First up, we're talking about Twitter. They are now, so real quick, bringing everybody up to speed in case you haven't been paying attention, they have made it known that if you do something on their platform that violates some of the more minor rules that they have, i.e. nothing that breaks the law but is still kind of questionable, they have said previously that you are not going to be amplified. They're not going to allow a bunch of people. It's almost like an upfront shadow ban in a way, because they're just going to reduce the amount of reach that your posts have that violate these certain guidelines. Again, if it's something that breaks the law, you're going to get canceled off of Twitter. But if it's just something like hateful, or if it's something that is potentially abusive, or I don't even know exactly all of the rules that would quantify a reduced reach, then they're going to reduce your reach if it breaks these rules. So they just announced that in accordance with this new policy, that any tweet made that violates said rules will have a sticker attached to it, or some sort of notification rather, attached to it that lets you know, hey, this tweet doesn't follow all of our guidelines, so because of that you have been reduced in reach. And what reduced in reach means, apparently, according to this new announcement, could vary depending on the severity of which you are violating their rules, X, Y, and Z. Could be anything from just less of your followers see it naturally, all the way up to nobody can retweet or quote tweet or anything of that nature, and less of your followers see it naturally, and kind of a whole bunch of degrees in between those two areas. So very interesting situation. That's what we got on that follow-up. Let's talk next about Microsoft. This one actually happened just this morning, right before I started filming. Microsoft has been trying to purchase Activision Blizzard for some time now, and it seemed to be going in their favor up until this morning, in which case the British CMA has stepped up and said, actually, no. And not exactly for the reasons that we were thinking they were going to get turned down, if they were ever going to get turned down. The biggest issue that the CMA had was that there is a cloud gaming element that they're potentially going to have a monopoly over. So, according to Linus Media Group and their tech-linked channel, Microsoft has approximately, I don't remember their share of the cloud gaming sphere necessarily, but it was fairly low. So Activision has obviously much more cloud gaming pull, but in the overall world of gaming, again, according to LMG, the cloud gaming portion of gaming as a whole is approximately 1%. So this seems pretty arbitrary. Activision has come out and said that they are going to help Microsoft appeal this decision, though that does not bode very well for the acquisition, because no one in the history of the appeals process for such a decision has ever won. So looks like Microsoft is not actually going to be purchasing Activision Blizzard. Who would have thunk it? I'm sure they'll find some way around it. They're freaking Microsoft after all. So that's what we have for follow-ups and corrections. Let's talk about trailers. We got a new trailer for Street Fighter 6. Has me pretty freaking hyped. The other part of this bit, actually, is that there is now a demo live for PlayStation 4 PS5, Xbox One, Series, and Steam. The Xbox and Steam demos went live this morning. The PlayStation demo has been live for a couple of days at this point. Absolutely super hype for this one. Yeah, we'll get to the hype about that in just a second. But before we do, let's talk about some regular ass news. In regular ass news, we have Microsoft and Twitter again, this time battling it out with one another. Like you like to see your major corporations do for some reason. So Twitter, again, changing a bunch of rules. Access to Twitter's API, the backdoor in which you can have different kinds of access, so you can integrate Twitter into different apps and such and so on and so forth. So Microsoft previously had allowed their users to publish direct from their platforms to Twitter. But now that Twitter is charging for access to their API, Microsoft has taken away this functionality. So you will not be able to post images or screen grabs or what have you directly from your Xbox console or from your Xbox Live account. There is obviously workarounds for this, a number of them. The one that springs to mind immediately, should you want to post a screen grab that you took on your Xbox console directly or in your Xbox Live account directly, then honestly the easiest way to do, assuming you have access to your OneDrive, which comes with, I'm pretty sure, every Microsoft account. So if you have a OneDrive, then you can save your screenshot to your OneDrive and then access your OneDrive from your computer or your phone, download that screenshot there, and then publish like you would any other picture. So it's a little bit more cumbersome, but still 100% possible. It's not the end of the world. It's just funny to watch these giant mega corporations fight it out like they are. So that's what we got for regular ass news. Let's talk now about gaming and tech suggestions. This one is actually a little bit of a blind suggestion because I have yet to actually do the thing, but I'm going to suggest you do the thing with me so that we can all have the conversation about the quality of Street Fighter 6. That's right. Probably as soon as I'm done filming, I'm gonna go download the demo on my Xbox and we're going to talk about it next week or in the next episode. Again, probably not going to be an episode next week. So, Street Fighter 6 demo is your gaming and tech suggestion for the week so that we can have a conversation about it. Let's do that. Once again, this is just the gaming and tech section. It is a shortened piece of the much longer news show that I do over on youtube.com/generallynerdy, which is the main channel. There's a lot more music and comic books and movies and TV shows, etc., that can be found over there on the regular show. Thank you for joining me here, though, nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.